Guys, how are you? It's underscore Ginto again here, guys. I'm just on top of now the Medellin gin inside I am Marwa's kitchen, guys. Now it's just called look at this, guys. The VIP chief chef in here. I have some the village cook.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just here. Can just introduce herself.
Let me just take my
your tag, eh? Wow.
Yeah, this is what
we have a cooker here.
Yeah.
Have some cylinder. This. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Tea.
Yeah.
Wagwan. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, you can just get a shout out at my channel here. You can just tell people what are you here for and why are you a VIP chef and not a chief chef only?
I'm not a chief chef.
Yeah.
I am a VIP chef because I'm cooking for the VIP guests.
Yeah.
And I am Marwa himself and Rocio.
Do you have some guests here or they're just two guests?
We have right now we have 4 from outside and we have from inside from around, so it's like we are like 8, 10.
10.
Yeah, because we also count Marwa under VIP. Marwa and Rocio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and us.
Our lady here,
she's
just preparing some lunchtime edition for it's just chopping some chopping, eh?
So
just
these one are onions. We are going to have omena,
okay.
the small
Nani T, you told me about what's the English name of this stuff?
sardines.
Sardines. Okay.
And then now these are the ingredients.
Okay, these are the ingredients. These are just the spring onions.
Onions.
Yeah, we have some tomatoes here. The garlic one here.
This is green pepper, right?
Green pepper.
Yeah.
So, what are you going to cook here, Sadik? Which kind of method are you just going to use? Amy, what kind of you can just
Deep frying the omenas or the sardines and then doing the paste, like the onions and tomatoes, and then we mix up.
okay, it's just a sauce.
Yeah,
Then
sauce.
you fry them. You deep fry it.
Yeah.
Then you do some sauces. So now you can analyze them there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I am Marwa and the VVIP need, or they like that kind of method of cooking.
Yeah, of course they like it because we've done it before and
Okay.
they like it.
They consume it.
Tina Marwa.
Woo. You can just say
Tina Marwa.
Tina Marwa.
Yes.
Okay, I am Marwa, Tina Marwa. Woo. Okay, to the village cook.
Yes.
How is your experience in this kitchen, guy?
My experience here has been crazy, ups and downs.
Woo.
Ups and downs in a way that sometimes there's so much work and sometimes, we need helping hand.
Okay.
But as well, it's been very interesting and nice and positive. There's so much, I think there's so much positive than negative.
Okay, which food does I am Marwa need or like mostly? And Rocio?
The one we are cooking right now.
The sardines?
The sardines, that's his best.
And what about the sardines? Maybe are they proteinous or
yes.
they are proteinous in nature?
Yeah.
And maybe the carbohydrates, ugali or rice?
Yes, carbohydrates. The ugali is now perfect.
The ugali is perfect.
Yeah.
Which kind of challenges have you ever faced with this?
Challenges here. I think maybe people wanting to eat different things. Like somebody doesn't eat onions, someone wants rice in the morning while others are eating.
Allergic reactions?
Someone doesn't eat lemon. I mean, not lemon, but watermelon.
Okay. Some fruits.
Yeah.
Okay,
fruits.
maybe others are just allergic to.
Allergy.
Yeah.
Allergy. So somebody's not.
So how do you cope up with them? Do you get them an alternative or it's just the same?
Yes, for sure we do. If somebody doesn't eat onions, we make sure that we cook something that doesn't have onions.
Okay.
And if somebody doesn't like bread, we have to make sure that we prepare rice for that person.
Or an alternative.
Yeah, alternatives.
Okay. So from your experience here, how is work just ongoing? Is it tiresome or?
Right now it's kind of good. Then it's just me and Tina, and I think the less we are,
yes,
the better. Because now I'm not waiting for somebody to do something. We just do. I know if I finish lunch, I start dinner, and I start, you know.
There's no just saying maybe another one is just around.
Yeah.
Or I was there in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. So
okay.
It's been okay, but I think sometimes we also need break, and we will arrange that maybe the coming week, so that we get a break and, you know, switch with the Chef Gintu.
Where is that guy? Look at this.
Yeah.
I am the guy who's just the chef here, guys. Maybe you know that I am just maybe a fish farmer, but you'll now see me in the VVIP or VIP chief chefing, guys. Okay. Kitchen stuffs. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Which kind of challenges are you passing through this kitchen? Because I'm seeing the kitchen is somehow it doesn't have the working spaces. We have the layouts. I don't see here some layouts of working here. So, do you have more challenges about those kind of the kitchen premises?
We actually, you know what?
Yeah.
When you prepared to do something,
yeah.
you do it even without the real equipment. Because when the party was starting,
yeah.
we knew that the house is not fully furnished.
Of course, yes.
So when I came to the temporary kitchen, I was ready to work with what is there. So I don't find any challenges.
Guys, it's that the proverb that they say, use the local material around you to sustain whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that's the only thing that's just applicable at this kitchen right now.
Yeah.
But we know maybe some period of time or some months coming, it's going to be more equipped, and maybe are you going to use this kitchen here, or do you have any other relevant kitchen?
I think this is supposed to be a closet or something. I don't know. Is it? I think it's supposed to be a closet, like a shoe closet or clothes closet, like a walk-in closet.
Okay.
So it's just temporary, but the main kitchen is downstairs. It's still being built.
But I heard Ayamaro talking about every bedroom has a kitchen premise there, has a kitchen layout.
They have their kitchen in there, but now the one that faces the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one we can't work with that. That's just for them, private.
Okay, okay. It's somehow small.
It's small. It's just for something.
It's just it's there for couples.
Yeah, for
okay,
couples.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. In terms of romance and things about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you can just say any other word. Maybe do you have any idea? Maybe we are going to have some other visitors here, because there was a time there were so many and it was just hectic in terms of cooking in this kitchen.
Yes.
So what about? Are you now expecting some more? It's just that one.
We are actually expecting more visitors. We are expecting more visitors. We just don't know the numbers, because some come without announcement, some announce. So we're just ready for anything. And right now we have like 4 main VIP guests. We have 4 main VIP. Yes. Yeah. So and plus Marwa and Ro and us, we are cooking for around 12 people, or 15 sometimes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, she is the village cook. It's _ Gintu. Maybe most of the people can talk about, can I call myself the Chef Gintu? No. You can just call me, because when I'm just in kitchen. But I'm just going to give you more things about the vlogging, about this Marwa area and the fish farming project, how it's just ongoing. But whenever visitors are just going to chip in onto this Marwa site, I am just going to chip in as it's _ Gintu as a chef now, so as we can now try to get that just cooking for them, so as they can now have that exact time. You know, some people have the exact time of service, so we should have that time that is in a schedule, so as we can now sustain them with whatever they need. So in terms of even service, we can now show you more about the services, how it's just done, and to the people who are just arriving are here as the VIP guys. So you can just get a shout out, and you can just say the name, then you can now
continue cooking, because as you said, we need to serve on time, and time is going. So my name is African Village Cook, and I've been here helping Marwa to cook for him and also his guests. Yeah, and as he said, I'm just a village cook. I'm not a professional chef. He's the professional chef.
But you are professional right now because you have been into this.
Yeah,
You have been into this because the only thing is not to be a chief chef in terms of theory.
School,
the only thing is do you have those observable matters, or do you have that knowledge and skills in terms of this doing? Because even me, in terms of fish farming, I've never been to school, but I can now perform the fish farming project very well, and I have more knowledge about that. So it's the same to her. She has more knowledge now because I have been not so much in terms of the kitchen, but I have those hints in terms of maybe the theory ones. But she knows more about what the visitors like and what I am marwa like. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what marwa likes, so she knows. So she's the perfect now. I'm not the perfect guy. So I'll be just under her, so as you can just tell me this is what I am marwa needs or what the visitors just need.
Yeah.
So the point here is to have those knowledge and skills about what it's just to be prepared and the methods of cooking.
Yeah.
So we are just going to talk more about how the environment, how they just consuming the food. Is it? Yeah. We have to cook, guys. We have to cook. So, guys, I'm just going to thank you
so much. We can talk more later, right?
Thank you.
Because I just checked the time.
Yes.
Timing, yeah?
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you very much for just watching the video. I'm just going to show you more about the vlogs about this I am marwa medlinjin, how the things are just working. Guys, welcome onto my YouTube channel. It's _Gintu here. As you can see, I am just under this the maintenance practices undergoing at I am marwa site. This is the fish pond we are just being showing you and to the YouTube channels that it's one of the incredible scenes ever been constructed by the name the flying beam fish pond here. So guys, I'm just going to use this kind of a rake so as I can just now do some maintenance cleaners around this fish pond here. So I'm just going to do some cleaners around the fish pond so as we can just have that environment which is just clean and maintain the hygiene and safety in terms of this place. So come on. Guys, at this section, the most of the dirtiness we have here is from the tree leaves here that are always ripening and they're just falling down. So those are just the dirtiness that we can just have to sweep them from this area so as we can just maintain this place as clean. So as you can see at the water level, this type of this rake is just going to remove these stumps from inside water as this way here. So as now we can just bulk them together and heap them at the pit. Guys, now this is our spring here. As you can see how water is so clean by now. You can see how water is somehow clean by now. You can just see up to the ground of this water. So as far as water is now going to just rechannel itself upwards and to this our spring here, it's just going to enter via this fish pond here. As the day are just coming, you can now see water is somehow clear. but at I am Marwa even just talked about the tiling of this fish pond as one of the moment that we now bring that deco onto this area. So it's the same protocol, it's just going to be done onto this flying beam, but the point is we shall not have that ground to be tiled, but we need that natural consistency of mud at the down sea level, whereby most of the mud is just used as it now brings that cooling and sea breezes and the land breezes also. So guys, it's the same protocol to be done now and again. This is the moment whereby we have to do the cleanness and maintain the pond as clean as possible, because these are just the creatures we are just going to rear here, so they need maintenance and care for now and then. So guys, I'm just going to show you how we are just going to feed them onto this fish pond. They are just 300. People might ask how many fingerlings or how many brood fish we stocked here. There are 300 brood fish stocked at this fish pond here. It looks so large, and it's one of the most longest ever been seen the fish ponds ever. It looks like the Olympic swimming pool, guys. So it's one of the incredible things ever constructed. So I was just behind this construction here, so as I can just make it one of the most good things to be viewed and bring the decor of this Villa Medellin here. So guys, the aim, most of the people ask, why is it somehow looking not awesome in terms of the look? So guys, we are not yet complete in terms of the construction of this fish pond. It's just going to be tiled first, and we now have that the lights, you see some cables here, so we are just going to have the lights and this fish pond here, so as we can have a good look at a moment. Other people might ask that why is it constructed behind this house? But we are just going to have this fish pond here for two aims. It's just going to be here for the restriction of people from moving from that parking side there. You can just view them, the parking. That's now the parking side of the vehicles. So wherever people might just think they can just trespass from anywhere accessing this Villa Medellin or the entry. So we have only one entry into this Villa Medellin gin. So this fish pond here, the main aim is just to restrict people from passing from any section of accessing this villa. The second point is to bring that decor of this area, so as we can now have a good environment looking, because this place here, it's water is all over. You can just feel how water is just moving from the channels, the drainages, and they are just accumulating onto this small pond here, so as it can now be filtered more and entered our fish pond here. That was the technique we used. As you can see at these pathways here, we have some cement bags. People might ask, why are we just using the cement bags? These cement bags have a lot of care and terms in this area, whereby they're just restraining water from, or restraining soil from just trespassing from this far end, which is just a dike accessing the pond. So it's just acting as a wall, whereby it will not allow soil from this area to access the pond, so as it might have the pollution to water. So the second point is they're just going to form a good place for breeding zone of this fish around this pond. You can just come. Guys, you can now see how the length of this fish pond looks like. It's one of the good moments ever, guys. You can just chip onto this party before it's just over, so as you can now see the prosperity of how we just continue with this construction site of this fish ponds here. So this fish pond here is the second fish pond at this point, but it's not yet constructed to a finished product, because we have to tile it. This fish pond here, we are just going to tile it from down all over the sections only one perimeter wall. This is just the flying beam, which will not be constructed from the downer level where now we have the cement bags where they are just bulked together. This is the fish pond that has our turtle, guys. So in previous videos I showed you how the turtle, we catched it and we installed it at this fish pond. It's just here and it's just surviving onto this second fish pond where we shall have different types of creatures that are just aqua care or aquaculture, where they now survive in water. So I'm just going to show you more about this fish farming project, how they're just going on. Thank you. It's underscore Gintu back again here. People are just asking, where have I been? Woo, 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 woo. I'm around, guys. So I'm just inside this first fish pond here. People might be thinking it's now under construction. Whoa, we are under construction, guys. So we have a leakage that's just found onto this fish pond here. So we are now we have transferred water, guys. We have transferred water from this fish pond towards the second fish pond, so as we can reallocate the fish from this site. We had stocked 300 here, guys. Oh, but it's just a hectic time, but we are just going to introduce another construction site. So we are just going to tile this area here of this fish pond here, the inner and the outer side of this fish pond here. So whenever I'm just standing here, people might think it's just sinking. No, we never put here concrete, so it's just the mud like. So I can now step here onto the far end because I have released water out of this fish pond. So guys, the only point that has water is just this point here. It's just called the drainage pipe. This is, it's so deep, guys. I cannot just step here because I constructed it in a design that people cannot just understand what kind of this construction is. The other part is somehow shallow. You can just show them the other part. Somehow shallow to the far end because water have now released it. So this part here, it's so deep, guys. I cannot just go in because I cannot reach the destination. So it's just 1.5 to 2 feet downwards because this is now called a harvesting pot. People have just heard about the harvesting pot. So whenever we clear water from that far end, now water will now accumulate at this area whereby all the fish will now run to where water is. So whenever you want to harvest the fish, now they're just coming to this narrower part, so as we can now catch them as easy as possible. So you can now see how it was just arranged and it's so strong enough. So we are now going to start the quotation of tiling this pond here via the inside and the outer side of this area. And always from this flying beam here, we have the inner side of this flying beam until the top side of this field. So we have some electrical cables here. You can now see them, the electrical cables now going to be fixed, and electricians are going to connect it in a way that we shall have now lights after it's now complete. This far end here, we have a channel that's just created here. You can now show men at work. These are now the men at work. At the far end, we have men at work. They're just constructing a tunnel here. So as whenever we have losing water or water is just oozing out of this fish pond, is now going to be attracted at this here. So you can now see how water is now passing through this tunnel that's just created here, because we have what is now loosed, or we lose some water from this fish pond here accessing this tunnel here. So we have to seal all the seepages before we can now restock it for 24 hours viewing, and we shall have water fully expanded at this point here. So I'm just going to show you more about the details on how, just talking about the fish like zones. I can now show you more about this. We have something to share here, guys. We have something to share. Let me show you. People ask, where is water coming from? Look at this. Water is now coming in as clean as possible. I'll now give you the hint why we have water is not so much clear at this fish pond here. I'm just going to show you more about the details. So the point I was just talking about, you can see at this end here, we have some potholes, somehow potholes, but the water is not so clear, so as I can just show you more about what I want to get. So we have some barrels, guys, here. some barrows, these are just the water spots that have been created by the fish at this fish pond here. The male fish always create some spots in this fish pond, so as the female can get a position of just reproducing or breeding zones. So as I talked about, the female ones always are here for breeding only, but the male creates some burrows or some water spots where it's just they dig some holes into the water, so as the female can now come and breed. So look at this pot here. It was created by the male, so as whenever the female needs to breed, it will just breed. So the point to take home is whenever they want to breed, the female always are mouth breeders. So whenever they want to breed, they just breed, they just bring out eggs from their mouth. So they're just mouth breeders. So whenever they stay at the mouth, so they give it out at the points or the pots or the burrows where the male have just now created some spaces provided for them to breed. So they just go there and breed some eggs through their mouth, and the male fertilize those eggs. Then they incubate. The female now incubate via the mouth, and their mouth produces the what we call the temperature validity for the hatching of the kids. So whenever they are now just hatching, now they don't eat. So whenever they don't eat, the male bypass them. So I have just provided you with such a video that previously I just uploaded onto the YouTube channel. You can just go chip in and just look at those videos, how I just brought them into the reality, how males are just going to get the monosex of male only, because people are just asking, why is it male, how are they just found, and how do you get the male from there? So I'm just going back to my field at my project, so I'm just going to show you more about how everything is just undergoing at that maintenance practices we're just going to use at that end there. So guys, keep it locked, keep it watching, so as I can just give you more structural things that have been done onto this area. So I have just talked about this channel that's going to be created here, because the day this fish pond was just to be created, this perimeter wall here is just oozing water towards the villa. So we have to restrain that water not to move towards the villa, guys. So I'm just going to show you more hint valid for the information to be captured. I was just talking about on how everything is just to be going back to this project here, but we have some visitors here. We have a visitor? Yeah. Can you greet the visitor? Eh? Hey, welcome, 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 welcome. You know, guys, it wants to do coconut. So, guys, you know, everything is just possible. We have so many visitors approaching this area. We have hens, we have pigeons, we have every kind of aspect of people coming to this project to see the ongoing project, how it's just looking like. But I told you, this second fish pond here, we have stocked here. We have the reallocation of this, we have the tilapia fish. This site I've just talked about is somehow deeper downwards. It's like 2 feet. This is just called a harvest basin. Guys, a harvest basin is just a constructed small fish pond inside a fish pond that's just deeper than the usual fish pond, that whenever you drain water, it should just not be drained at this point. It has its own drainage pipe. So whenever water accumulates here, now you can just get the fish from this harvest basin whenever they're just stuck here. And the water level from that far end is just levelized with this pipe here. You can just show them this pipe. This is the pipe that's now draining the water of that level from the far end. But this one that's just stuck here is just now it's called a harvest basin. It will never be drained out, even if only we just drain it via the use of the drainage pipe at the beneath of this draining water. So we have here some 300 fish that we have now reallocated them from this first fish pond, accessing this second fish pond. We have even a turtle here, guys. Don't remember, if you can just remember, don't forget, we have a turtle here. So they're now going to have that ecosystem. We have now an ecosystem. We have frogs, we have tilapia fish, and we have a turtle. So guys, this is now an ecosystem we have in this fish pond. But whenever we construct we tile this area here, so we are now going to reallocate this fish from here, then return them here. So we shall have them stressed, but this is the protocol to follow, because people are just talking about getting something legit. We should tile this area and look so neat. So that's what we want to emphasize on. Whenever it's now lit, we shall have electrical appliances here. So lights are going to be lit here at night. So they're just going to bring colorful lights, and we shall have the colorful what's called the tiles, and even we have another tile. But I'll just think about it. So if we can just use it. So the way everything is just ongoing here, everything is smooth. But here we have a tunnel created here. It will now give us a new look of this area via, any water that's just oozing from this fish pond here. If it's just oozing towards the perimeter wall or oozing towards the villa, it will now be stuck at that channel created there. So as we don't have water accessing that middling gene. So guys, I will just be updating you on everything is just commencing here. Whenever we commence the tiling of this fish pond here, I'm just going to give you more hint and more elaborated hint about everything ongoing at this sector. Tula!